Hi, our video today is going to be on text on text. I've seen a lot of videos out there and they seem to be very complicated, but I think they have to be to a certain degree. But I found it very confusing. So I kind of sat down and to see if I could come up with a easier way of doing it, and I think I have. Takes about one or two steps out of what you see most of the projects out there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what I've come up with, and hopefully that'll help you do text on text. If you like the video, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a like. And we do appreciate all the comments, and we do read and answer every one of them. So let's get going. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do some text on text. Here's what the finished product is going to look like. It's going to have the bottom text raised a certain degree, and then the top text will be sitting on top of that. And as you can see, there will be a definite distinction between the two. Then we're going to Vcarve the date established. And then over here, we're going to do a little 3-bead edge just so we have a little nicer edge. And then we'll cut the whole thing out. Just to show you over here, I can come over here and show you the different paths. Let's reset the preview. So the first profile is where we're cutting the edges. Then we're going to use a 1/2-inch clearing tool, and we're going to clear out as much of this as we can. Then we're going to go down to a 1/4 inch, and we're going to clear it out some more. And then we're going down to an 1/8 inch to get that final clearing. Once that's done, we're going to do the second pocketing, because now we have to lower this text that's in behind, because they're all at the same level. So we're just going to cut what is not on the top. So on our first clearing path, we'll see that we cut some of that down. And then we'll go to our 1/4 inch. And then we're down to our 1/8 inch for the finish. And so now the text on text has all been cut. So now all I got to do is the Vcarve, which is next. And the Vcarve. The Vcarve will start down on this level, and I'll show you how that's all done. And then we're going to cut it out. We're going to use tabs, but for this demonstration, I just wanted you to see it without. And then there's going to be our finished sign with a nice beaded 3-bead edge. And that's what we're doing today. So we're going to start over here in Vectric Aspire. And you can do this in Vcarve Pro as well. So what we're going to do is start with a new one. We'll go back over here. We're going to close this out. And then we're going to start from new. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new file. It's going to be 22 inches by 10 inches by 3/4 inch thick. Our material surface is going to be on top, and our datum is going to be in the center. Click OK. So the first thing I want to do is put a rectangular shape, a square one, around the outer edge, because that's what we're going to use to set up our border. And before I go any further than that, I'm going to close that. So I got that. But let's create a few layers here to start with. The first new layer is going to be top text. Next layer is going to be bottom. Next layer is going to be combined. And the next layer is going to be frame. And I'm going to activate the frame. So now we're in the frame mode. We put this around here. Now what I want to do is I want to go and create an offset to this. So I'm going to create a 1/4 inch offset inward, select, but I want it to have inside rounded corners. So I'm going to click on, well, I'm already clicked on it. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change this to radius internal, and I'm going to go 1 inch. Apply. Now we got our first one. I'm going to close that. I need a total of 4 of these because I'm going to do, that's going to have beading around the edge. So I'm going to go over to down here where it says offset and layout. First button is the offset button. We want to go inward because this goes inward here. And we want it to be a 1/4 inch off of this one. I've got a 1/8 inch pointed round over bit. So if I go 1/4 inch and I cut on that line, I'll get a perfect little 1/4 inch bead. So let's create, we're going to need 4 of these. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we got all 4. I can close that. And they're all in the frame. So now we've got that part drawn. Now we're going to go up here and we're going to go to bottom text. And we're going to make that active. And we're going to come over here to our text. And we're going to type in all caps, BOEHM. And okay, let's figure out, okay, we're going to pick a better font for this. And I want these to be 3 1/4 inch tall. And you could just size it, but I already did, so I know it's going to be 3.25. And I can say close. And then I'm going to center it. And then I'll just raise it up because I'm going to be putting some stuff down below. So I'm just going to raise it up about there, should be pretty good. And you can just, you can eyeball it where you're going to want it. So that's where I'm going to have that. And that is my bottom text. So now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to turn off my bottom text and I'm going to go to top text, make that my activated site. See, top text. So now we're going to type, well, we do want to keep that bottom on because we want to see where we're going to position it. So I'll leave the bottom. So now we're on the top text. Close that. I'm going to come over here to text. And I'm going to do Howard and Diane. And I do want that text that was, let's see here, we had something that's a little bit scripty. Is that the one? Yeah, that one should work. And we want these to be 1.8 high. Okay, close. And now I'm going to bring this, I'm going to center this. And then I'm going to raise that up. And now we're centered there. We might want to make the, no, we don't, yeah, we'll make that just a little bit smaller. I'm just going to drag it. And center it again. And then raise it again. Yep. Okay, so now we're setting, that looks good. So now we have our top text and bottom text. And now what we're going to do, we're going to come over here to the combine text, make that the active. And I'm going to click on this top text, and I'm going to say, and right mouse button, and I'm going to say copy to, you want to make sure you copy it to the combined text. And then I'm going to go over here to this one, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to right mouse click and copy to layer combined text. And now if I come up here and turn off the top text and the bottom text, you can see we have both of these on the bottom layer, on the combined text layer. I'll close this. So the next thing we got to do is we're going to have to come in here and we're going to have to combine these. Okay, we're ready to weld these together. So the first thing I'm going to do is select these. And I am going to convert these to curves. Convert to curves. And once they're converted to curves, I got to remember they're individual. Like if I just click on this one, that's an individual, that's an individual. So what I want to do is I want to select those. Make sure I don't miss any part. Well, let's select everything. And then I'll unselect this one. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to group those. Okay, so now I'm going to select I'm going to select those, and I'm going to convert those to curves. And now I want to group those. Oh, I should have left them. I want to group those. I've got those all picked. I'm going to group. Okay, so I got both of these grouped. Now I can come over here and hit my weld, and it'll maintain those circles and everything in the middle. If you're not doing that, then if you don't group it, you're going to lose all these circles and everything. So by having it grouped, then we get exactly what we need. So now that we have that, we are ready to go to our next step. Now we're ready to start milling. So the first thing I'm going to do is select these lines up here for our border. I'm going to do a profile toolpath. I've got this Amana plunge point roundover, and here's what it looks like. It's like comes to a sharp point, and that is a 1/4 inch. And so by going down 1/8 inch on the line, I'm going to make little 1/4 inch ropes up here. So we calculate, and we'll preview that. And there we got our little 1/4 inch ropes that you can see. And that makes for a very decorative edge. Now we want to take out all this wood in the middle with the exception of our name. So we want to select this, hit the shift key, select our part out here that was welded together. And we're going to come up here for the pocket. When I did mine, I actually used a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/8. But for this demo, I'm just going to use 1/4 and 1/8. We're going 0.3 deep here. So it should take out everything down to a level to 3/10 lower. So we're going to calculate that. And let's see. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and preview that. And then we're going to preview, that was for the clearing. And the second one it did. And so now we have all our top and bottom text carved, but our bottom text is still too high. So we got to go in there and lower that by 15 thousandths. So the way we're going to do that is we are going to come over here and let's close this out. We want to protect the top text. We don't want it to be cut. We just want to cut this bottom text. So what we're going to do is we're going to select, well, first of all, we're going to go over here to our top text and light it up. We're going to select our top text. Yeah, I got to select it this way. Yeah. I'm going to close off combine text and frame. Frame's okay. I just want to select this so it's selected. Then I'm going to turn the combine text back on. And so if I took that off, yeah. So we're putting the top text onto, we're going to use that. It's in the same position. And then we're going to select the first one again. And we're going to pocket again. But this time we're going down 1/15. And we're going to calculate. And I'll preview that. And there was 2 of them there. Preview that. And there you go. We have our top and bottom. And everything is the way it should be. So that works quite well. And I hope it's a little simpler. None of this is simple on this text on text, but I think that makes it a little easier. And all you got to do is remember that you got to take that top text and, the first line. Here's the top text in this first line. And then that'll carve all of this down the 0.15 that we put in there. So now all we have left to do, let's come over here and light up our Vcarve. We're going to come back over here, close. We're going to choose our Vcarve bit. We're starting at 0.3 because remember we lowered this to 0.3. And you know how you can usually tell that? If you come, let's see, where's that at? It's not going to do it. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. If we go in the 3D view, you can see right down here on the bar, when I hover over that, it's showing that it's 0.3 deep. So we come in the Vcarve, we're going to start there. We're using a 60-degree V-bit. We're going to calculate. Oh, and I want a flat depth of about no more than 0.15. Okay, calculate, preview, and there's our text, and now we are done. Oh, we got to carve out the end of the piece. We got that outer ring right there. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to profile. The cut depth is going to be 0.76. And we're going to use I'm going to use a 1/4 inch end mill. And we want to be on the outside of the line. Calculate that. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Let's get back over here. We want to do it on this line, not this line. So we're selecting this line here. We want it on the outside. We want the cut depth to be 0.76. Calculate. Review selected toolpath. And there we go. We have our text on text. And now we just got to go mill it. So let's get out of here and we'll go over and do the milling part of the job. Line that up directly on that center. And then I've got a macro built into my Mach 3 screen that says XY coordinates. And now that's got the bit directly over my center. So I've gotten zeroed out on everything. Okay, we're getting ready to pocket this out. I'm using a 3/8 inch bit. See how far down. I probably should put an extra spacer in there. Okay, so we are ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and do the 1/4 inch clearing path. So what we are doing here, this is the bottom text and the top text all being done at one time. And this is the combined. We've done the 3/8 inch and the 1/4 inch, and now we'll do the 1/8 inch clean out, and then we'll have that part finished. Then all we got to do is lower the bottom text down 15 thousandths, and we're there. So what we've done, we've carved everything that needs to be carved on the top layer and the bottom layer. So now all we got to do is carve what would be the bottom layer down another 15 thousandths, and that'll make the other text look like it's raised, and we'll have our raised text. that looks like that worked pretty well. Now I got to do the border around it. Okay, now we're going to do the decorative edge around the outside. So we've got our decorative border around there. We got to do our V-carving and then we'll be done. So let's finish off the design with the V-carve. That'll start now. Okay, so all that leaves now is cutting it out. Okay, we're cutting it out and we should be done. Got to do a little bit of sanding, but all in all, it came out pretty well.